Hit 80 degrees in Macon today. It's hard to believe it's the beginning of December, but it most certainly is. Since we hit 80, we're back down to 75 now. A wind out of the west-southwest at about 3 miles an hour. Not doing a whole lot to the feels-like temperature. That's still sitting at 75 right now with the dry radar picture across most of Georgia. And that's going to be changing as we head into the days ahead. Current temperatures right now firmly into the 70s. 70 there in Upson County, 74 in Forsyth, 75 with Cochran checking in there as well as in Swainsboro, 72 in McRae, and 72 as you head out Interstate 16 towards Vidalia this afternoon. Another warm one across the southeast, 75 down in Albany, 72 over in Montgomery, Alabama. And you can see the wind spinning in almost a clockwise fashion there. That's indicative of a high pressure over the central Gulf Coast. Now let's get into future view, go through the overnight hours. The clouds that we see out there now going to continue in its westward to eastward motion through the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning. Here we go, Saturday, 7 a.m. temperatures falling down into the 40s tonight, rebounding, not as warm tomorrow, but still relatively warm given the time of year. Then by the time we get into Sunday, we begin to introduce a few sprinkles into our forecast. This is 7 a.m. Notice a few specks of green across the region. This is a weak disturbance rolling overhead, not going to do a whole lot for us in the rain department, just a sprinkle here or there, and those will last mainly through the morning hours on Sunday. And then once we get to the afternoon hours, they'll begin to taper off. The best chance for sprinkles will be further up to the north. Then by the time we get into the start of the week, that's when we begin to see some changes here in central Georgia. A decaying front coming across the Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama line Monday afternoon will bring a chance of rain in central Georgia. Overall, not a great chance of rain, certainly not as great of a chance as we're going to get into the middle part of the week. Here comes a second front associated with the low pressure tracking up to our north. That could bring maybe an inch or two of rain to central Georgia. That's out of here by the time we get into Thursday evening. Might have a few lingering showers, but then certainly by next Friday, that will be history for us here. And we certainly need the rain. Overall, we've seen a pretty good, decent amount of rainfall this year, but November, almost 2.5 inches below what we should have seen in November. So the ground is pretty dry across the region. And like I said, we could pick up inch or two of rain depending on which model you look at. This is the GFS, over 2 inches of rain here and making the higher amounts to the north. At the same time, the European model doesn't have quite as much, but still could put a dent in our deficit. Those reds there are indicative of over 2 inches of rain. So this is still a long ways out. We'll be keeping an eye on it here in the 13 WMAZ Weather Center. Meanwhile, Football Friday night tonight, temperatures falling down into the 50s throughout the duration of the game, cooling rather fast, eventually down to an overnight low of about 48 degrees tonight. The SEC Championship is tomorrow. Fantastic weather if you are headed up to Atlanta. 7-day forecast shapes up like this. There are those rain chances on the increase for the first part of next week as temperatures return to seasonable averages.